Welcome, everyone, to another Hymn History and Praise Points with Pastor Mike. When 17-year-old Mylon Lefevre wrote Without Him in 1963, he didn't know what he would try to live, or that he would try to live, the next 17 years of his life without him. A few months after Mylon wrote the song, a singer named Elvis Presley recorded it. Then more than 100 other vocalists also recorded the song. Soon the teenage Mylon had so much money that he felt he could actually live without him. He didn't need Jesus anymore. Mylon recorded with all the big names, from the Beatles to the Rolling Stones, and he started using drugs because everyone else was doing it. He became a heroin addict, and it looked as if the teenager who wrote that, without him, life would be hopeless, was proving it. But in 1980, a Christian musical group helped Mylon get back on track. He begged the Lord for forgiveness and said that from that time on, he wanted to live with him and not without him. His message was now about his newfound hope and about the dangers of trying to live without Jesus. That's just a brief story about Mylon Lefevre. There's much more, and I encourage you, this story and other hymns that we give you some history on this, it's really just a brief history, and I encourage you to go and look them up, and you can find out more. I didn't know Mylon myself personally, but I know some folks who did know Mylon, and can tell more about some of his story, and interesting life. But Mylon passed away about September of 23, just a couple of years ago. He went home to be with Jesus, and not to be without him, but to be with him. And so look that up and let the Lord bless you with the history behind so many of these great hymns and worship songs and things like that. And I really didn't even realize until recently that Mylon was the writer of this song. I'd heard it as a teenager, as a kid myself, young man, and I'd heard this hymn and sung it, even not realizing who actually wrote the hymn. But let the Lord bless you, and think on these words that Mylon Lefevre wrote back in 1963. Without him, I would be nothing. Without him, I'd surely fail. Without him, I would be drifting like a ship without a sail. Jesus, oh Jesus, do you know him today? Don't turn him away, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Without him, how lost I would be. Yes, without him, how lost I would be. Amen. What would I do without Jesus? What would you do without Jesus? What will you do without Jesus? As the song says here, Jesus, do you know him today? Please don't turn him away. Amen.